everyone, Ray here from City Fan TV, and I'm joined by the B in the Bang. Yeah, it's a bit of a banger of a shirt you're wearing. How you doing, mate?
I'm the B in the Bang in this, mate.
I tell you
What do you think you look like? What do you think you look like on the players? Do you think he looks all right?
Only saw the highlights of the last. Was it the one in the last game, or some pictures on TV or on the website? It looks all right.
Yeah, they always look better than we do. Well, certainly better than I do with it. But
they fit the players better than they fit us. Mine's either it stops me breathing, stops me circulation, or it's just hanging off. So, we'll see. We'll see. I want to see that.
What's this about bringing the third kit out before they release the second kit? What's all that about?
It's all a money making exercise, mate. Only mugs go for it. He says after he ordered the commemorative treble kit on the last.
How much was that? How much was that one?
Was it 90 quid? I mean, it was when someone asked me, "Are you going to get that?" I can't remember who it was now, and I thought no, and because they said it's the last day, so I had a look, and I thought I don't really want it, and then I just found myself pressing the button. That's what I said. Mugs, go out and buy this kind of stuff. Let's see who's in the house. Big Morgan, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. It's a quick roundup, and because I think we both shattered. You can see my shirt in the background. Hey, like the red shirt I normally wear, red and black on.
All right, okay. Where's your one off, Mike?
I don't know, mate. I haven't been home since.
All right, it's not all right.
Away for a week. I've been away for what day are we now? Friday. Yeah, I left. Well, I was away the week in Wales. Came back Friday. It hadn't arrived, and Saturday. Came back Friday evening. Saturday lunchtime, I was in Edinburgh. So I did that. Then been in Northern Ireland the last week. So I'm absolutely.
In answer to Big Morgan's question, no, I don't have a gold badge. And if I told you how much it was, you know where I got it from.
You know why? Sean, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Good evening from Sean. So I'm cream crackered this week. So sorry, I've done no streams last couple of days, but I've been working crazy days where I've been doing these live shows, and I think it's not. I think we've booked in too many, but it means the venue make a good profit, good bit of money. Hope they're not watching this, and they'll invite me back. So which is very nice, and it's worked out really well. So I've got another week in Northern Ireland, and then I'm in Scotland for a couple of days, Cumbria, and then back home. I get to sleep in my bed. I think I won't tell you when, just in case someone knows where I live. No, it's not empty. It's not empty. It's my missus and my two lads are there.
You cover your tracks, mate. It's not empty. It's not empty.
No, my missus and my lads are there. My lad's bigger than me now. He's got.
He's big and daft now. He's smaller and daft.
He's big and daft. No, he's been complaining. Sorry, guys, we're just chinwagging. He's been complaining that he keeps getting stopped on trains because he's under 16, so he uses a child's ticket, and they keep asking him for ID because he's got a beard. A little beard there, and he certainly don't look 15 years old. He's almost 16. He'll be 16 next month, but he don't look it. He's whatever 5'10", 5 foot, around that sort of level, and tall with the beard and everything. So he's complaining that he's getting stopped all the time. I said, just wait till you grow up, mate. I don't think I'll get better. Right, guys, we're gonna chat because I've not been around for a few days. I'm going to catch up. Bernard's going to help us catch up with the latest news. And I think for me, because I didn't manage, I saw the goals, but I think, but no, I didn't even see. I'd not even seen the highlights of the Bayern game, mate. Normally I watch the highlights at least, but so I'm going to have to ask you to tell me. I mean, I've read some reports and stuff, but what was the game like? I mean, did we deserve to win?
Yeah, certainly not the first half. I thought Bayern were the far better team first half, but they had the strongest team out, I think. of the squad, because you looked at the second half, the team Bayern put out a lot of inexperience in that second half. So I think he possibly played his stronger guys in the first half, and literally put the kids on and the less experienced, the new guys on for the second half. And the first half, I mean, really, they were far better. I thought they looked far better than us. I mean, you'd had that 27-0 game, but that's the only game they played yet. They looked sharper, a lot faster pace, far pacier than you whinge about the pace of City. Far more pacey. Sane was enjoying himself. He was very unlucky one that hit the bar, a free kick. But he was enjoying it. He was enjoying taking the City boys on, and we did. We looked second best. To be honest with you, to go in at half time 1-0, but then the second half, obviously, City just we put all right. We changed everybody, but of course we still had 4 or 5 key players on the pitch, and we looked far better. And I was surprised they equalised in the end because we were all over them in the second half, and fortunately we got the win, and we probably deserved it overall. But I would say Bayern Munich certainly, squad wise, perhaps a bit weak squad wise, but as far as an 11 or 12, they look pretty good from early days. It's only early days. Everyone just started their pre-season, obviously.
Yeah, I do realise I did watch the highlights. I watched the extended highlights. When you started talking, I thought, I can't remember the game. It was only 2 days ago. And I thought, I can't. Then I remembered Leroy Sané hitting the bar and McAtee scoring. That was a tap in. So I did watch that the extended highlights. Were there any City players that played the full game or most of the full game?
No, just obviously Aki. Was it Aki? Just get me thing out here. Remind myself. Yeah, because Aki went off after 29 minutes because he got a bit of a knock, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. But no, he did the same. The only one that surprised, the only guy that didn't get on, of course, Tatiga didn't get on because Edison got a full game. But was Palmer. Palmer didn't get any time at all. So Peroni did his usual when he got a bit of time. And I think based on what I saw of Peroni, he had a great little cameo. I think he should start him against Madrid on Atletico on Sunday. But Palmer didn't get on at all. So whether he's got a bit of a knock or something, I'm not sure. A bit unusual. I mean, put it this way, if he doesn't feature against Atletico, Palmer, I'd be a bit worried.
Well, obviously, only 1 or 2 things. He's got a knock. No, 3 things, probably. He's got a knock. He's annoyed the manager. Or he's leaving. And obviously, Brighton apparently were interested in him. So that we'll wait and see. But it looks like, moving on from the Bayern game, but it also rolls into the next thing. It's talking about McAtee. And it looks like
again he looked out off it for me. He looked, of our players again, he looked the one that was out of his class, if you like, out of his depth. Yet again, he scored the goal. Great, fantastic. But apart from that, again, he was one of my, as he was against Yokohama. He's trying very hard, and perhaps that's the problem. It's perhaps a lot of pressure on him at the moment. And obviously, I've seen what Pep said in the newspapers today about, and what he said about he's getting his chance in the summer, which means, really he needs to be putting in some sort of performance. And the first couple of games, the 2 halves he's played, he's not really, apart from scoring that goal, he's not really looked at it to me.
Yeah. I said this before, and, people have picked up on it, that people like Palmer, McAtee now, anybody who steps into that side has to take their chance, because you're not going to get many chances. It's different, I think, for defenders, for Rico Lewis, because the big difference is in attack, you get very few chances to shine. And you've got to shine. You just can't be a steady Eddie. But in defence, I think you can be a steady Eddie. When Rico Lewis first started playing for City, he might have got 60, 70, 80 touches. That helps to calm you down. That helps to, sort your nerves out. But if you're only getting maybe 20, 25 touches in a game, and you know that you've got to make an impact, that's the difference. Palmer and McAtee know they have to make a positive impact to be considered for the future. Rico Lewis knows that he has not to make a mistake And that's different. I think that's easier to do, is to not to make a mistake. You concentrate, you focus, and you rely mostly on yourself and your teammates to pass it around and whatever. Whereas if you're an attacker, you're relying on your teammates to help you out. Because if you make a great pass and to somebody and they don't do anything with it, it's quickly forgotten. And you're relying on, if you make a good run, you're relying on your teammates to supply you. So, and you're only going to get sometimes only 2 or 3 chances to run at a defender, and you've only got 45 minutes to do it. So I feel, a bit of sympathy for these kids because they're not getting the opportunities, but it's up to them as well, and the management and the coaches to find the right balance. To find that right balance, to give them the confidence to take players on. We saw when Foden really went for it, he used to rip. Remember that season? There was that season, I think, when we signed for Torres as well, where Foden had spent the summer apparently doing some sprint coach with a sprint coach, and he was a little bit faster, and he was not running past people, but he was doing his dribbling, but he was pulling away from people because I think the extra half he had made a big difference, and we saw how his confidence grew. And then he would take, he's quite happy to take people on, and he was very successful at it. And I just think it takes time, and I hope maybe time's run out for Palmer. Do you think it might run out? He's had 2 seasons.
It's just interesting. It's just interesting if he starts on Sunday, as you say. I'm a bit. He didn't. I mean, just having a look at his thing again. Obviously, he wasn't too bad against Yokohama. He played fine. He was okay, and then Bob looked okay when he came, Oscar Bob. And of course, Oscar Bob got another chance and looked tidy again without being anything fantastic again against Bayern. But Palmer will know more on Sunday, I think, if Palmer appears or he doesn't.
Yeah, but Oscar Bob, that's what you have to be. You have to be tidy. You don't have to be exceptional. And I think maybe Oscar Bob is one of the kids that will realize that you don't have to be exceptional. I mean, I used to tell my kids or mates I used to play football with, I said, there's one guy we used to play with years and years ago, and he was rubbish, really, really poor. Okay, I'm not saying I was brilliant, but I was playing, and he was always on the bench. And with another guy, we were mates, and we said, look, what you need to do, the main thing is, in our opinion, you got to give people confidence. They won't pass you the ball unless they've got confidence that you can control it. And I said, what you need, I thought he needed to do, I said, spend time doing 2 things. 1, controlling the ball when it arrives. 2, making short, simple passes and do them relatively quickly to your teammates. Then you'll get a reputation of being reliable with the ball. Yeah, that guy can control it. He's play midfield. You can control it and you pass it to your teammate. Let them. And it basically was a low risk game. You don't take the risks. Let other people take the risk. Once you're comfortable, once people think you're reliable and they give you the ball on a regular basis, then you can take the occasional risk. And if you lose the ball when you take a risk, people aren't going to not give you the ball because they know generally you're very, very reliable. And keep it really simple. But if you get the ball in your first few, every time you get the ball, you're trying something on and it's not working, and they think, well, 3 times out of 10 it don't work, you don't get that reliability. People might be reluctant to give you the ball. So it'll just hit time. And you've got to hope that it comes through. I'm going to go through some comments in a minute, but I want to ask you this question. Foden versus Cole Palmer. No. Here's the thing. Foden came through in 2017-18, okay? Now, Foden is 23. So in 2017, that's 6 years ago, he was 17, yeah? Sounds right? 17. Cole Palmer right now is 21. He came through 2 years ago when he was, let's call it 19 when he came through. So Foden came through a couple of years earlier, which is actually important. In Foden's first season, how many games did he play in the league? And how many overall for City?
Not many, was it?
I'm testing you now.
I don't know. In the league, about hardly any. I would have thought mainly cup games, wasn't it?
He made 5 appearances in the league. 10 overall.
Well, that's probably 5 more than I thought.
Yeah, don't mean he started them, but 5 league games, 5 appearances, 5.
Right, so that's not starts. That's he might have come on as a sub or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just appearances. Okay. So he played 10 times, scored no goals. Okay, but he was only 17. Cole Palmer, when I'm guessing 2 years ago, same question: how many Premier League appearances? How many total appearances?
About half of that, half of Foden's.
He had 4 in the Premier League. 4 Premier League appearances, 11 in total. So he actually had more than Foden. And he actually came through the season before when he was 18, when he had 2 appearances, one in the EFL Cup, that's the Carabao Cup, and 1 in Europe. He played in Europe as well. I don't know who it was against, but he was played in the Champions League. But he scored 3 goals. So he had 11 appearances that season, scored 3 goals. That was when he was coming through. Foden's next season, okay, so this is, in my opinion, the season before Foden broke out. But by then we could see, obviously, he was a really talented player. So his second proper season at City, how many league appearances did he have and how many total appearances? I know it's difficult because it's hard to...
Half a dozen, 14 in total.
13 appearances in the league. 5 in the League Cup, but 26 appearances altogether, 7 goals. Okay, so he's gone his goal. He was basically a goal every 4 games, so he's getting his goals. Okay, and I want to compare that with Cole Palmer last season. League appearances, total appearances, and goals.
Last season,
yeah,
I can hardly remember him doing that much. About 10 in total.
14 league appearances.
How many?
14.
14. Yeah, I'm getting because I do all my stats on starts. I'm getting all confused.
He had 14 appearances. I don't know how many minutes. 25 appearances in total. So he played 4 in the FA Cup, 3 in the League Cup, 4 in Europe. So he's at 25 starts. Goals?
Not many goals, surely.
Yes,
2.
One goal. So my point is, his first 2 seasons are very similar to Foden's in terms of appearances. Very similar. But his goals are nothing like Foden's. And that's
we were raving over Foden, weren't we? Then?
Yeah. We were cocker. The guy scored 7 goals in 28 games. He showed that brilliance. And I think that's the difference so far. I'm not sure Cole Palmer will do it. I'm in 2 minds because he's come through. He's had a good number of appearances. He might get sold, But would you right now? Would you?
I mean, just for example, Cole Palmer started just 2 league games, 1 Champions League, 3 Carabao Cup, and 1 FA Cup last season. That starts 7 altogether.
Yeah. It's nothing. And that's. I mean, part of me thinks give him another season. Just give him that 1 extra season. Part of me thinks he could be sold.
I just don't think he's progressed. I just don't think he's progressed like Foden did. Simple as.
Well, look at Foden's second season. His second season, he'd gone from no goals in 10 games to 7 goals in 26. Cole Palmer's gone loads more games. His goals have dried up.
Yeah.
So, not to put too fine a point on it, like you said, it'll be interesting to see if he starts the last game. If he doesn't start, the rumour mill will be whirring away. I can see maybe Brighton reigniting their interest. But if he goes, we want, there's no 10, 15 million quid. It's got to be, a big number. It's got to be a big number. It's got to be at least 30 million. If he got, it's my opinion. I think he's worth more than that because I don't think he's that far away. But what he needs is, like we've said, he needs consistent game time to know that he's going to be played, and for him to relax. Because if you play everything under pressure, thinking I've got the ball, I've got to do something with it, you're not going to succeed. You're going to struggle. You're going to be like some of these other players, like Traore or others who have these moments of brilliance, these flashes, but they aren't consistent. And unless Palmer calms down a bit, I think, get some composure, he can end up like that. Let's go through some comments. Akash is a Tremble winner. We answer. Get out of it, Akash. You're on the wind up, mate. The youth looks good. I think they need game time. Yeah, it's true. You need game time. Would you like to see City in the pace wing it? You and me both, Dre. Yeah. Hey, Alec, hope you well, buddy. Big Morgan, £81 with gold badge at Club Shop. Nah, I'm not doing that. That's it. I've just had my car that I borrowed from my mechanic because my car was busted up and I couldn't get it in the garage early enough. Brought down, so I just had to shell out for that. So if I'm not thinking of buying a new top after paying for a hire car for a few days and getting the car that I borrowed repaired, that's killed me. Pep doesn't want direct wingers anymore, says MCFC Protocol. Hi, Chris, hope you're well. Chris, well.
Where are you staying, Chris? What hotel are you in?
Living it up. I'm trying to remember. I went to Las Vegas once. I'm trying to remember where we stayed at.
I love Las Vegas. It was quite funny. We were looking. It was like 109 degrees in the day. I thought, it'll cool down later on. It's 112 at the night.
No, I had a cousin who lives in LA, at Los Angeles or near LA, and he took us to Las Vegas. I can't remember. He was minted. Okay, so we stayed at, I can't remember now. Was it Luxor or Bellagio or something?
We stayed in the pyramid one, Luxor. Yeah,
Luxor. Yeah. So I think it kind of rings a bell. But yeah, he was. Well, I'm not going to talk about him, but he was well minted. He built there's this street where he lived. He built a house there. Then, this was years and years and years ago. Then he built another house, rented his first house out. So he built another house to live in. And then he built another house. So that street was basically his. He's renting two out and living in one. And yeah, I remember going to see these koi carp, and they were like blooming expensive. Each fish was expensive. So anyway, he did well for himself, but he worked hard, give him credit. Manchester City actually done a decent away kit for once.
Third kit, this, Chris.
What is it? What colour's the away kit? Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've got it in my cupboard. I don't know how good it is yet, so I've not dug it out until I see what they come up with.
Oscar Bob and James McAtee might do better than Cole Palmer. Possible. But it's hard to say who's got the most talent. Cole Palmer, when he was coming through, I thought he looked incredible. When I saw Liam Delap, when Liam Delap's got all those goals, Cole Palmer was the one who stood out for me. He stood out, and I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's happened. I'm hoping that he can come through and be the player that I thought he was going to be. But look, we're not coaches, we're not scouts or anything. We're not anything like that. So someone might look brilliant to us, but the people in the know better. What's this from Mohammed Kadri? Please tell me you're absent because you were finalising the deal for Gvardiol. I wish. No, I'm in Northern Ireland, been working, so no deals there. But I'm hoping it's going to happen, because I think we would need a refresh. We're losing players, and look, you can argue Gvardiol coming in means Laporte leaves, but so be it. Laporte started one league game last season. Was that right? Or he played in 12 league games. Bernard doesn't know the actual numbers, but he might have started a bit more. He featured in 12 league games. He might have started 11.
He started 11 actually.
No, that was it. He started 11 and he came on a sub in one other game. So he featured in 12 league games. That's nothing. Even Cole Palmer featured more than that in the league. Then Laporte got more minutes because he started the games. But that's. I just think you need new players. I think you need, and if Gvardiol is good enough right now, Laporte isn't considered good enough to challenge Akanji, Aki, Stones, or Diaz. for centre-back spot. He isn't. Gvardiol, I think, is considered good enough. And I think that just makes us stronger as a first team and as a squad. So I want to see some action. Alex says, new nice away shirt coming. Another one to my collection. Palmer. Andrew says, Palmer to a total of 9 games minutes-wise. If we don't buy another winger, it's a big season ahead for Palmer. Now Mahrez is left. Yeah, absolutely. Put my treble winning flag out today. My rag neighbours looks a sight for sore eyes. It's Chris is sitting at the Aria Resort Hotel. A new Bernard had a secret what a money. Is that your Las Vegas trip? Chelsea agreed to give you for £8.5 million for incomplete financial reporting during the Roman Abramovich era. Wow. I've not seen that one. Obviously, I've seen that Juventus have been kicked out of the Europa Conference League for financial. They're all at it. Here's the thing. I said this. Everybody sails close to the wind. Everybody bends, but tries to, as that Madness song goes, was it how to bend but not break the rules? Everybody's trying to bend the rules and not break them. Sometimes, accidentally, you do break them. Like Manchester United. I mean, they accidentally failed FFP. It was just an accident. So, United have failed FFP. Juventus have got some financial problems. Joe Lewis, what's he been up to? The owner, well, he's given it away now. A few months ago, he gave Tottenham away to his, I think, kids in a trust fund so that he can't be linked with them for his alleged dodgy dealings on the stock market. So he's been busted by the American authorities, and he's, I think, currently helping them with their inquiries. So we'll see what happens there. But hey, if it was City, he's guilty, isn't he? That's how it works, isn't it? He's guilty and he's got to prove his innocence. So look, they're all at it, and Chelsea are giving money back. They're all at it. Not a single one of them is not trying to get. And that's what happens. You get advisors, you get the experts in, get the professionals in who try and save you money or make you money or whatever. Everybody's doing it, and it's just some that get treated differently. What's this Arsenal fan on Dick Doc ranting that they will get treble next season? Deluded. They're crazy. Dick Doc. Will City do a treble movie? I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. I mean, it'd be good for obviously for fans who want to watch it, but
apparently slower going to the next one along.
Yeah, the movie doc will be released. Thing is,
no, I watched that Calvin Phillips thing. The Calvin Phillips on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
and I said I was really disappointed. I thought, I wanted to see his reaction to the treble win and what it was like going through, sitting on the bench and not being involved. Yeah. But obviously, Amazon must have been precluded because there's hardly anything on that. Obviously, it sort of give up after the World Cup, basically. So. Obviously, City, I thought, well, City must have someone else doing a license thing. Otherwise, Amazon might have had a bit more airtime. But obviously, they probably stopped him doing it. So that's probably why.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, if they do a movie, I'll not watch it, because to be honest, Bernard, I'm
nice to watch. You get goosebumps, but I mean, I'll watch it for me to sit at the movies. But
yeah. To be honest, I won't watch it because. Between you and me, Bernard, and just keep it between you and me. I'm bored with winning. Aren't you bored with winning yet, Bernard? Surely you're bored.
Yeah, I want to fight relegation this year, just to remember what it was like.
No. I want to see Liverpool fight against relegation or United fight against relegation, not us. No,
it won't be a bad thing if United, Liverpool, and City all go down. What's wrong with that?
But that means Arsenal and Spurs will be... No. Can't have Arsenal and Spurs. Newcastle and Villa, I'll allow that, but not Arsenal and Spurs. But that'll be interesting to see that movie when it does come out. So what else? Mahrez is gone. All right, that's a shame. Let's move on. Okay, next piece of information.
30 million, was it? 30 million?
I think I said at the time, one of the worst videos in terms of that I've done in the last... let's say 6 weeks in terms of views. I think the 2 week ones have been Mahrez. No one's interested. No one's interested in Riyad Mahrez anymore. Matt, you're right. You used to people, and I used to see this, and I'm not the only one who did this. I mean, it was a game that Mahrez scored a goal or got a couple or whatever. That's my top video of all time on this channel. And I used to see people. I'm not going to name names, but I see people put stuff up about Mahrez because they knew they would get views from the Algerian lot just by having Mahrez's name. When I put Mahrez's name in, I do it properly. I put it in Arabic as well, so you get a few views. But that's the truth. People are not interested. People have moved on. He was never taken into the bosom of City fans. Not in our hearts. There were bits and pieces about Mahrez that you didn't like. Some of the things that you either heard or saw, and City fans never really took to him. They accepted him when he did well, but they never loved him. That's my feeling. Other bits of news, we were going to talk about the stadium expansion. That's been given the green light. It's going to be mega. 60. I was reading 60,000. I thought it was going to be 61,000, but extra.
Well, I wish they'd read tarmac around the ground. When it's raining, you get all the big puddles. I wish they'd redo that and even it all out, because that, for a club of our stature, you're walking around, and certainly when you're in a hurry and you don't a big crowd and you end up really soaking your feet because you walk through a massive puddle that you don't see.
It's about, you're right. It's about time.
Do a bit of re-tarmacking, take advantage of this new thing to do some more work around the ground.
Yeah, no, good point. That, I mean, I remember that around the ground, we used to be able to drive up there years and years ago, probably 10 years ago. Used to drive there and park there, and now you can see City moved on so much. You can't even get near it. It's just totally different thing. So we're gonna have this stadium expansion to at least 60,000 fans, and as usual, you get the usual bright sparks on social media. Say, hey, City haven't got enough fans. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Well, they put another 800 tickets on sale, didn't they, for the Community Shield? They went, and I did notice. So, I mean, I don't know how they allocate the Community Shield, but the Arsenal actually were allocated about 3,000 tickets more than us originally. Is that because they've got a bigger average crowd?
They probably expect more Arsenal fans to go because.
I mean, I would have thought, obviously, you totally flummoxed me when we actually sold out, but so early. But it's just unusual. I thought, well, why they got 3,000 more tickets than us?
Well, the truth is, and just accept this, Arsenal fans. This is the truth. Okay, they're not going to be watching anyway. Arsenal fans. The reason Arsenal apparently got 3,000 more tickets than City is because Arsenal these days so rarely get to go to Wembley. It's like a proper day out for them. We're going every other week. We've been so many times that as I said before, wherever you go, you're on first name terms with people. They say, your usual, please, Mr. Dineen, or can I, the valet is, hey, park your car, Mr. Dineen, or whatever, and all this. Or you go to the hotel, and on reception, they know who you are, or whatever, because we're there every other week. It's just, and partly because that obviously Arsenal fans are down there, and some United fans who live in London are going to be Arsenal fans. Because Arsenal are now up there.
Remember back to the Community Shield against Arsenal, was it 2018, 17, 18? I was just looking back at the highlights the other day, and of course the third tier was virtually empty, the City third tier.
Yeah, there's no one there, but now...
I forgot about that. I was there. I just forget all about it.
Everybody wants to go, but Arsenal, as I said, very rarely in these big games, and... they've allocated, given them some extra tickets so that their pretend fans, plastic fans, can go, especially those from Luton and wherever. Obviously taking into consideration that City fans, we some of us spent our dough in Istanbul, didn't they, Bernard?
I thought, I won't be going to bloody, was it Athens or whatever? Going to bloody Athens.
No, I actually had someone asked me to do some training. Some woman from Athens asked me to go to Greece to do some bubble training, or she said she'll come to London.
We could have killed two birds with one stone.
What was the second? Anyway, I'm not talking about. I'm just glad you didn't say you could put two birds with one stone. Anyway, but it's before the watershed. No, I'm actually working that day. What day was it? The 16th or something?
So Wednesday, isn't it? 16th, I think.
Yeah, 16th of August. I'm in. I know I'm working. I'm in Chelmsford. Wow, that's gonna be wonderful. And I can't. It's one of those that I can't give to somebody else because I've got work that I try and keep certain dates in my diary empty so I can send. I'll send one of my team out instead of me. And so, like the game against Burnley, you see, I've kept that day free. I kept it free because I was hoping to be asked to. Because I did two gigs at the football ground in Burnley last year, part of their pre-match activities, and I was hoping that they'd ask me to go again because they offered me a free ticket, but they haven't asked me this year. For that one, that was the date I want. They'll probably do it in the summer. They have a family day and stuff. But that was I kept it free, and it's not come through yet. But no, I don't think I'll be going to not going to Athens. There's a lot of stuff I'm not doing. I'm not going to Community Shield because that's next week, isn't it?
Week Sunday. On
the 6th, innit? And I'm in Scotland. I'm coming back. I've got a theatre gig in Scotland. When's that? First league game is on the
12th.
No, 11th against Burnley.
11th, yeah. 11th.
Yeah. So I'm not going there. I'm not going to the next game because I'm in Chelmsford. I'm trying to figure out when I can go to watch my beloved Blues again. Well, do you know off the top of your head our first home league game, Bernard? It's on the 20th or the 19th.
Newcastle, isn't it? Is it on a Saturday?
I'm hoping it is. I was hoping it'd be on the Sunday. You
on there.
We'll be called plastics for not knowing, Bernard. Man City versus Newcastle on the 19th of August.
Yeah, Saturday, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Saturday night.
Is that right? I don't think I can make that. I'm now desperately looking. See, I'm actually up near Durham. In Durham for this show that I'm doing. I'm just trying to see what time it is.
We can watch it with the Geordie boys in the pub.
Yeah, the show starts at 2:30, so it means I'll be finished at 4. I won't be out till at least 5. I won't be back home till I can't get to the game, can I? What time is it? 8 o'clock. Can't get to the game. Well, I'll watch it with the Geordie boys. That's yeah. Can you imagine? I'll watch it with True Geordie then. How about that?
Oh Jesus, no.
That's terrible. No, I will try and watch. I'll have to watch it on the telly. I'll get home in time. I can't go direct to the ground, with a car or a van full of stuff. Because when you get back after the game, it's not like Liverpool, where all your stuff is left intact. It'll all be robbed. So it is Briscoe Lane where I park. So yeah, I can't take the risk. It's my livelihood. MCFC Protocols wants to see the scenes when we got the FFP charges. That's when City were galvanised and stormed through the rest of the season. Used to sit in puddles as I was at parade. I was singing in the rain. Hey. Let's have a look. Andrew says, if tarmac and the ticketing is all we have to worry about, we're doing all right. Ticketing has been dreadful. Yep, it's been terrible. I hope the name. I don't know. But
did you see what they did with the Young's tickets? Have you seen what they've done with those now?
Put them all together.
Yeah, so they're in their own section.
Yeah, so they know who's causing trouble.
That'll be fun.
Is that
all on smack? All a block of the away section.
Well, is it to find out who's causing trouble?
I don't know. It's unusual. I've not seen the reasons for it. If we knew someone on City Matters, we might know. But
yeah, Alec wants to stand him in after Guardiola, the Sir Pep Guardiola fortress. Narrator's gone. Bet his apostles won't follow us. I did lose a follower last week, subscriber last week. Shirt looking nice, Bernard. Lightning quality, says Alec. Yeah.
David's retired. We've not mentioned him, have we?
Who's that?
David.
Oh yeah, David Silva. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, we talked about it last week, didn't we? When he'd got the injury and said it looks like that's it, and he's called it time. Have you seen any of the videos that he's posted, or others have?
There's not much coming out. I thought a lot of it was old stuff, so I ended up just flicking through everything because I thought it was all old stuff.
Yeah. Right. Well, as I've said, of the modern times and possibly of all times, he's been my favourite player. He was just silky smooth. And, just because he hasn't got the stats, people just, sometimes people focus too much on stats. Use your own eyes. Your own eyes should tell you, if you're not biased, that David Silva was one of the, certainly for the Premier League, all-time greats. All-time greats. And there was a video that there's a few videos I wanted to make with you, but we've got to get the time. One of them is, and I've seen someone put this up, Centurions versus treble winners, who'd win? Because there's enough different players. Centurions, you had people like Sane, Sterling, Aguero, Company.
I don't think last year was the best Pep City team I've seen. We did the treble, but I don't think it's Pep's best 11 since he's been there.
I agree with that. And don't say it was his
first. We've always said you don't always have to be the best to win cups. It's as simple as that. It's just on the day and getting through and doing things, and that's absolutely spot on.
Yeah. So, which was the best Pep team? The one with the
the
one with Jesus Navas right back.
Yeah, Delph. All the classics. Yeah,
yeah. No, Alex says Ragnar's shirt looks awful. That green and white one. Oh, it's disgusting. That it really is. It is. I mean, I don't know what that. At least some of ours pay homage to something. I don't know
what's this pay homage to.
I don't. Well, some of them. Some of them are just there.
United green. I mean, it's like a Plymouth. I think Plymouth have worn a similar thing. I'm sure they have.
They copied it.
That kit sort of looks familiar to what someone else has worn in the past, but I can't remember who.
Yeah, let's have a quick look to see if there's anything else I said we'll talk about. Bayern have been beaten. We talked about that. We talked about McAtee staying, the stadium expansion. We can only
hope Atletico are not in the thuggish mood as they were when we last played them, can't we? For Sunday, I don't know who dreamt playing them up. I mean, hopefully there's no bad blood, but Mr. Grealish might get out without getting kicked to death or something like that.
If he spends his time, looking after the ball the way he does, he'll get kicked about. There's no question. There's no friendlies where I don't think there's any friendlies where Atletico are concerned. What was I going to say? There was something I was going to finish off talking about, the stadium expansion. It's not just the extra seats in the stadium. There's that 3,000 capacity fan zone or something that they're going to do. Yeah. The stadium's short.
I mean, the problem's always been with like some of these bars. It's bloody freezing most of the season. It's not fun. Standard is so. I remember when we first did it, and we had some live screenings there, for some big games. And usually they were sort of spring, but it was peeing down and horrible. And it wasn't. I mean, it was nice to be with fellow City fans, of course it was. But it was never a pleasurable experience once we got to October, November, December, and it started getting a bit crappy with the European Champions nights. You're there with the pint, I mean, I was used to it in the old Kippax going into it like that with the pint, but I was younger then. I'm a bit older now. I'm not into that anymore.
So basically, it's going to be a total. There's going to be the hotel. It's a 400-room hotel. And obviously we've got the arena complex being built as well. So it is. I mean, it's going to be the place to go in Manchester.
The trouble is, the trams are not going to be any better or anything like that. I think that's the problem.
They have to. They have to improve things, because right now I've said it's taking best part of an hour. If you park your car in the one of the official car park, an hour to leave. It's ridiculous. You know, I used to say wasn't a problem when you were filming after games. If you stay 30, 40 minutes or an hour, it used to be an hour. We used to be on Man City Fan TV. We were the last people to leave. You know, visible people outside, obviously people inside the stadium who were still there, but we were, in terms of fans, we were some of the last to leave. And then, you know, an hour after the game, yeah, the car park's not empty, but you just drive out. But these days it's just terrible. I never want to leave. I try not to use the car park anymore. I try to park up one of the, you know, basically Briscoe Lane. But if you leave within the first half an hour, you just sat in traffic. It's just absolute nightmare. So you're right. They've got to do something. I don't know what they can do. I can't think of anything. What can they do? Make a bigger tram stop? I don't know. You know, you've got the one across the road outside Asda. But can they put more trams on? I don't know how you sort out this problem with infrastructure. There's not enough space for cars. You know, there's already not enough space for cars. And if you park on Briscoe Lane, they give you an hour after the final whistle to get your car. And you know, it happened to me once. They certainly weren't giving me an hour. You know, I was the last one out. The guy was waiting to lock up. They were locking up 10 minutes early. So you can't take that risk. At least with the City car park, it's open for much longer. Top of the league season.
I've been to Old Trafford for a long time. I don't know if they have similar problems obviously with a much bigger crowd, of course.
Yeah. Don't know, mate. To be honest, I'm trying to think how they get there. There's obviously the tram. Is there a tram?
Oh yeah, it stops right outside the cricket ground. Yeah.
So to be honest, I don't know. I've been. Yeah. I think I've been to Old Trafford to watch the football once in my life. I think
he was still standing the last time I went.
Nightmare wait for the tram to get there. Even forget where.
It's funny enough with the tram last year, because I've got the season card. You know, the tram season card that you can get. So you go through the season card bit, so you don't have to queue all the queue. And last year it was I used to walk back to Piccadilly. I didn't even bother going for the tram. But I thought last season, I'll give it a go, and it was fine. It was fine last season.
I think they're going to make this the kind of thing they're going to try and make it that fans will walk from Piccadilly or from the city centre up to the ground. You know, to make it.
I mean, I'm fairly fit, but by the time if I've been working all day.
How long is that? 20, 30-minute walk, in it? I've done it a few times.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've done it in 20, but obviously 20, 25. Most people will be 30 minutes.
20 minutes is a good
I'm a fast walker anyway, but...
Yeah, because I used to take my car to that Mercedes garage next to the ground when it, like, for services or repairs or whatever. And sometimes I just used to walk into Arndale. I mean, they used to give us a taxi, but the taxi, they only covered the first £5. So in the old days, that was all right. That gets you to Arndale. But we're talking 10 years ago. You know, 4 or 5 years ago, it didn't get you very far, £5. So I just said, look, you know, I've got like half a day to kill. You get bored just sitting in a, you know, garage showroom eating biscuits and drinking hot chocolate or whatever. And so I just thought, right, I'll just walk into town. You know, at least you get a bit of exercise. But I think that's the plan, is to get people to be, you know, you don't have to, I guess, walk in one go. But if you're doing a pub crawl, you might be crawling by the end. If it's going to take 2 or 3 hours to get to the ground.
Well, there's no pubs to go in on the way from Piccadilly to the ground anyway. It's absolutely devoid of, say, apart from Mary D's, there's no sort of pubs within. Apart from the city centre, as you get, you know, as soon as you get out of that city centre, go walk into the ground. There's no pubs anyway.
Yes, it's a very.
It's the other way, but not from town. There is up towards that, up to Openshaw, up that way, but not the.
Isn't that going on? That going on, right, Bernard? I know it's coming up to 8:00. I think is your cut-off time, and I'm absolutely cream crackered. I'm trying to. Realistically, I should go to the gym or go to get some sleep because I need it, but my brain doesn't work like that. My brain's thinking pizza. But I had fish and chips 2 nights ago, and yesterday I went for a pizza, same place that does, and they have a family deal for 2, which is, I can't remember, a pizza, 2 dips, and some chips. So I got that, and I got my order in. And while I was waiting for that, I thought, go on, I'll have a fish as well. So I got that, and I forgot to give you chips with the fish. It's like, I don't throw food away, but I had to. Even me, I had to chuck stuff away. Right, guys, it's been fun. Thanks a lot, Bernard. I hope you have.
Cheers to everyone who's been on, and cheers to everyone who's been on.
Oh yeah, guys! If you are new, look, I don't know what happened. We've got a lot of subscribers over whilst they've been out today. A lot of people watching old videos. I turned up thinking I haven't done anything for 3 days. There'd be nobody watching stuff, and I got another 8 subscribers today. So that was a bit of a surprise. Mike's just sent me a picture, so I'll have a look at that. Wow. This stream's done all right, 140 people. So I'm hoping we get a few new subscribers from this, guys. It would be nice. We've got 1 new subscriber. Thank you very much, whoever that was. That's what Mike said. He sent me a picture. I don't know who it is. It's not Guardiola. It looks too old. All right, no, okay. No, he sent me a picture of somebody wearing. I can't. Oh, keep it quiet. No, it's somebody wearing a City shirt, but I'm not allowed to tell you who it is.
Who said that?
I got a I just been sent a picture of somebody wearing a.
Well, who's told you can't say who it is?
I've decided.
Oh right. Well, I thought Mike had said, "Yeah, but don't tell anyone who it is."
No, I've got pictures been sent, so I'm not going to say who it is. I might tell
Harry Kane. Is that Harry Kane?
I still say we should buy Harry Kane. Look, we need a new attacking midfielder. Buy Harry Kane, stick him in midfielder, put him on the bench. I don't know. Look,
Sane's coming back because he smiled at Pep. Sane's coming back.
No, what could you play Harry Kane as an attacking midfielder alongside KDB?
No.
Why not?
No, he's too old.
But he's 29.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Even Pep can't teach Harry Kane.
Look how many assists he gets. He will get assists, okay, because he does all that donkey work. Okay, so he'll get the assist. And he'll get a bag full of goals. Can you imagine him playing behind Haaland? Haaland getting 40 goals next season. Harry Kane picking up 30. We'd win it all. Come on, Bernard. You know I'm right.
Them two have been falling over each other, Kane and Haaland, right? Pair of big lummoxes all falling over each other. No. Top of the league says no. We go put Borges in there as well and Delap. Have all 4 of them.
Delap's gone. Where's Delap gone? Hold on.
Get him back. Have all 4. Borges, Delap, Harry Kane and Haaland. Put them on the edge of the 18-yard box. It'll be chaos.
I tell you what, seriously, Bernard, we'd still win the league. We're that good. And on that note of boisterousness and cockiness, I think we'll bid you farewell. Guys, have a good evening. And if you're doing anything this weekend, be good.
Cheers, guys.
Bernard. Cheers.